What's going on, y'all? As you can see, I'm taking you on a journey with me today. September 2nd, 2023, I got sent to a different station than I normally work at. And I've been to this particular station several times, so I'm kind of used to, the routine and whatnot. I'm coming up on 1 year, believe it or not, at the post office. And looking back at the time that I got hired, it was a pretty desperate situation that I was in. So I'm grateful, extremely grateful that I got this position to try to stop some of the bleeding that was happening for me financially. Yet at the same time, the money that I make with the post office doesn't equate to what my expenses are. And so it's been very humbling, having to do what I have to do in the meantime, in between time, until I can find something else. Today wasn't too bad. It was pretty hot. I would say muggy more than hot. It's like mid to upper 90s. In comparison to the 110, 115 that we've been experiencing this past couple of months during the summer. So it was nice to be able to deliver on this route because, as you can see, most of the deliveries were out the window, which means I could just kind of cruise low-key and do my thing. But I had a lot of time, as I do every day, to myself, just to kind of think about, what I'm doing, think about where I want to go. And honestly, man, I think the biggest challenge that I'm facing right now is just having my time back, because I'm working 55 plus hours a week with the Postal Service. And on top of that, because I need extra money, a lot of times I'm doing Uber either early in the morning or late at night when I get off work. So I literally have no time to really do much of anything else other than sleep, shower, and rest whenever I can. My faith in God is strong, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that it's frustrating. It's frustrating at times because I don't understand, in the moment, like what the significance is for me to be working here at this, in this position. I've been seeing a lot of, things that I don't agree with. There's a lot of hypocrisy in terms of, management telling you to do things outside of what the policies or procedures are when it's convenient for them. But on the flip side, they like to point out things that you're not doing correctly, quote unquote, based on those policies and procedures that are in place. So it can be very frustrating in those moments. Not to mention, like I said, the long hours for not the best pay in the world. I think It's funny because every time I talk to somebody about what I do, almost immediately they'll say, "Oh, they have great benefits." And yeah, I guess that's true, but at the end of the day, I don't see myself being with the Postal Service for 40 years. I'm already in my mid 40s. Like, I'll be 80 some years old if I were to do that. God forbid, please. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this is teaching me. It's teaching me humility for sure. I see obviously delivering mail in these type of neighborhoods. A lot of times I think about the possibility of having, an estate like this. Not necessarily because I want to. I mean, it'd be dope, obviously, if I can afford to have an estate, with the family, of course. I wouldn't want it by myself. Duh. But it's just, the possibilities, because the people that live in these homes breathe the same air that I breathe. So obviously it's possible. It's a matter of creating the type of income that it would, require for someone to live like that. But anyway, I think, one of the things that I wanted to share in this video, because I know a lot of times those of you who follow me on YouTube, maybe you did a search or something, you're trying to figure out, or at least try to get an idea of what to expect when you start working at the Postal Service. Man, I could say so much. I don't want to discourage anybody, first and foremost, but I do want to be honest in saying that the culture within the organization isn't the best, because, and just from what I've noticed over the past year, carriers have no respect for a lot of managers. And it's really, I think, for what I said earlier, there's no integrity with some of the management that's in place. When something happens, let's say you call off, you're sick, or you take a day off for whatever reason, when you come back to work, they do what's called a welcome back. So they welcome you back, they make you sign this document, and tell you to, read the document and on your own time to understand, what the repercussions are of the rest of the team, the rest of the carriers when someone calls off. It's really just putting more work on everyone else, and something like that. But what I think was interesting that happened to me recently was I got pulled into the office for fact finding, and the supervisor was reading a list of questions. Very, very, to me, was like impersonal, like what am I saying? Unpersonal? Is that the right word? Impersonal? It wasn't, it wasn't a candid conversation. It was just like very cookie cutter. Do you recall what happened when you called off on April whatever? I'm like, bro, we're in September. What are we talking about? And you did a welcome back anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, I called in, used the sick line or whatever, called in. What else do you need to know? Like, what are we doing? You want me to give you details about what happened in April? I don't even remember. If I'm being honest, like, anytime I call off, which has only been a handful of times in the past year, not even a handful, I would say three times. 3 times I've called off. Those 3 times is because my body was breaking down, like my back was killing me, and I just needed a rest, man. These people work you to death, and they think you're a machine. Yeah, let me cool off. You can see, this is like real time, real deal Holyfield feelings and frustrations, emotions that are, that rise up when I start thinking about some of the foolishness that I got to deal with. But yeah, look at your boy, man. I'm out here. If I unmute one of these clips, you'll hear I'm just out here cruising with my music. But I wanted you guys to get a glimpse of this neighborhood, because this neighborhood is ridiculous, as you can see. And I don't even think this video is doing it much justice. But yeah. What else can I say? I think this video is like 15 minutes, so try not to just ramble. Man, I'm looking for another job. I'm believing God for another job within the next 30 days. Because once I hit my year and I get that break in service for 5 days and get paid out on all my PTO that was accrued over the past year, my prayer is that I can find something else and transition and not have to come back to this grind, because it's taking way too much of my time. And I'm not making enough money. I mean, I've said it, and I'll say it again. I'll continue to say it until I'm blue in the face. It's just, it's not really serving me at the moment. But I know God's, whatever He's teaching me, I always think about, my work ethic. I come to work, I show up, I do the best I can. I'm heading back to the office, so it's about to end. But yeah, I put my best foot forward every day. Try to keep a good attitude. Although I feel like my attitude has slipped a little bit over the past couple of months. Just because, again, it's, I'm really noticing some of the challenges that I've heard about, before I even started working at the post office. I'm starting to see them for myself, and yeah, I think, part of me at times feels like I don't want to even respect those that are in authority, because several of them have proven and shown me a lack of respect, as well as others, within the company. And so I'm like, why should I give you respect if you don't respect me or my peers? But again, that's not the best attitude. And so I'm really just doing my best to shift that and try to honor God in what I'm doing. So thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.